what's going on? Welcome to my channel, The Ready Nurse Nay. If you do not know, I make videos on nursing, healthcare, inspirational related topics. So right now I'm sitting outside on my back porch and I am basically just about to make a video talking about tips for new nurses. I haven't made videos in a few weeks, just been busy. I think I'm gonna do this live thing and post these because just life has been busy. I haven't had time to like edit videos and stuff. So I'm just gonna post it live and then schedule them to post like that. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're oldie but goodie, thanks for staying on the journey with me and keeping up with what's going on. So like I said, my name is Nay. This is my channel, The Ready Nurse Nay. I am a bedside nurse. I've been a nurse for almost 2 years, and I work at a small hospital where we do a mix of med surg, telemetry, oncology, hospice, step down, all of that on this one floor. So I've got a lot of experience in a short amount of time, very short amount of time. I've had to handle cold, CPR, deaths, strokes, cold strokes, being able to assess that and call a cold stroke and handle that appropriately. PCA pumps, patients having active chemo running, PCA, sickle cell patients, taking care of them and addressing their needs on the PCA pump. Coming back from surgery, step down patients actually on comfort care, and just kind of on the floor basically to die comfortably. I've had a lot of different experiences in a very short amount of time working on med surg. So I have, a couple tips. I've learned a couple tips along the way that I want to share with those who will be new nurses. It's my little camera. With those who will be new nurses. So got my little notes, I'm gonna look down. So the first tip I have for my new nurses: when you're a new nurse on the floor, I need you to ask questions. There is no dumb questions. When you are on the floor, you're dealing with people's lives. Medications, interventions that you're going to be doing could potentially help somebody and improve their quality of care, but if it's done incorrectly, it could hurt their quality of care. Okay, so if you don't know something, you need to say something and you need to ask. That's my first tip: ask questions. And that goes for whatever area you're in, because as you're going throughout your journey in your career, some people may stay in one specialty, but you're still going to be learning things and you might jump around. And so no matter how long you've been a nurse, if it's something that you don't know, just ask. That's it, just ask. That's my first tip. My second tip is going to be to keep your personal life and your professional life separate. So nursing could be stressful, and then of course just relationships and personal life outside of work can be stressful, but you don't want to bring your work stress home because your family doesn't deserve that, and you don't want to bring your personal stress to work because your patients don't deserve that. So find a way to keep those things separate. Don't tell everybody at work your business. Just don't. Whether you have to journal, whether you have to do counseling, whether you have to do like some type of exercise to maybe get the stress out. Use your car as a sanctuary to kind of like pray and get the stuff out, so you can transition between work and home smoothly. But keep your work life and your personal life separately. My third tip will be to celebrate your wins. As a new nurse, you are going to be learning so much in such a short amount of time. If you don't almost like sit down and kind of recount all the stuff you're learning, you might think like, oh my gosh, I'm just not getting it. But in reality, you're learning every day. Every time you're in orientation and precepting, you're learning so much. So just take time at the end of each shift and just be like, okay, I did this. I'm going to celebrate that. Yes, congratulations to me. Or, if you're a new nurse, oh, I got that IV. Celebrate this. Or, oh, yes, I did that Foley. Celebrate this. Or, I assessed that patient and I was able to catch that post-op complication. Yay for me. Give yourself a win and celebrate yourself. And even if you've been a nurse for a while, celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. Even if nobody says thank you, or you feel like you don't get that appreciation or whatever recognition that you need or want from your job, you do that for yourself. You celebrate yourself. You give yourself the recognition and you give yourself the appreciation that you deserve for showing up to work. Okay? Showing up to work. Tips. Those are my main tips. That was the third tip. Some other tips that I kind of have that are kind of like accessories to those main tips would just to know that nursing is 24/7. So you do what you can on your shift, and then you report off so the next nurse can do what they can for that patient. It's 24/7 care, so like sometimes you can't do everything in one shift. We do a lot, but maybe not everything. Maybe you have advocated for that patient to try to get certain needs met for that patient, and it still carries on to the next shift. You did what you could, you report off, and then you go home. So just know that nursing is 24/7. You do your part, report off, and then you go home. Also to know, it's hot outside, y'all. Dab my face. It's hot out here in this heat. But also to know, other tips is just to be organized. Be organized. If you're a new nurse, I say probably for the first 3-4 months, you might want to get to work like maybe 10-15 minutes early, just to like get a seat, kind of look through and get a little bit of idea on the patients before you start getting report on them. I did that, and then after about 4 months, 5 months, then I started coming at the time. Like I got more comfortable. But until you're comfortable, you might want to come a little bit early if you're a new nurse. It might help you out, keep you from being anxious of getting there right on time and just jumping in the report. And then being organized. Things being organized. For me, that would be I always bring lunch to work. I always bring lunch to work. I always bring snacks to work. I always have a water bottle for water so that my nutrition is on point. Being organized. I always try to have pens and markers for the whiteboard and things like that. I also always try to have my report sheet organized, and then at the beginning of the shift I kind of have a flow of how I'm going to tackle that shift and what that might look like. Maybe I'm going to start with my sickest patient first to get them situated out the way, and then save my easiest patient for last. Maybe I'm going to flip it. Maybe I'm going to go to my easiest patient first and then save my sickest patient for the last. Or maybe I'm going to go to my pain. I'm going to take care of my patients that have pain first and get them situated, and then kind of fill everybody else in between. So kind of be organized. That'll help keep you, make your shift a little bit smoother. And then I think too is another tip is just to know you kind of have to be okay with the unknown, like, because it's so hot out here. Whoa. When you are working on the bedside, there's gonna be a lot of stuff you cannot case for, and like, even though it's med surge, tele, like combo unit, a lot of these patients are super sick, and I think as time goes on, it's gonna be very common for very sick patients that almost shouldn't be on the med surge floor to be on the med surge floor. That's a common thing. And so you are having to be on your toes, making sure you are documenting properly for these patients, assessing these patients, communicating with doctors and providers about the needs of these patients, because they're only gonna get sicker and sicker. So just be prepared for the unknown. You could get somebody that colds on you and you have to do CPR. You could get somebody that has a stroke on you. Even though you've been advocating for that patient to get off that floor for days, you kind of have to be prepared for the unknown. And I don't know if you're able to like prepare for that. It's just to know, okay, like, maybe say a little prayer or something like, okay, Lord, help me to go with the flow. Help me prepare for the unknown today at work. Kind of just preparing your mind, because sometimes stuff is gonna happen and you just didn't even realize it, or weren't prepared for it, or you weren't expecting it, and that's how bedside nursing is now. So those are my main tips. This was just real straight to the point. I hope that you guys are blessed and just enjoying life. If you're in nursing school, I pray that you are succeeding and doing well. If you're in any other college curriculum or program, I hope that you're succeeding and doing well. If you're just tagging along for the journey, seeing how it's going, I'm surviving in these med-surg streets. I'm surviving. But yeah, bedside is tough. So anyway, you can survive though. I'll see you all in the next video. Comment, like, share, and until next time, bye.